Hey there Babylonians, it's me, Songs of Raids, and I am back with another legendary guide to bring to you, and today we are looking at the Reaper Light Machinegun. Now what is special about this other than its looks, because this is a stunning gun? Well, it has the tier 3 mod of Ultimate Weakening Bullets, where shots inflict weakness on enemies, and this happens every single second as long as you're hitting an enemy. Now what does weakness do? Well, weakness, when it's on any kind of target, whether it be yourself or whether it be on an enemy, it reduces their output or their damage by 30%. Now that's quite nice. It's definitely nice to be able to keep yourself going, to be able to make yourself a bit more tanky, to be able to survive some of those firefights, but it's not necessarily a really good kind of debuff, because everyone kind of really looks for vulnerable or bleeding or toxic, depending on what kind of build you're going for, just to be able to keep your bullets going, obviously inflict a little bit more damage, all that kind of good stuff. Now I tried pairing this with the tier 3 body snatcher perk, just to be able to give it a go. I didn't really want to ramp up the damage with Embalmer's Rage or Killing Spree, just because I wanted to show this gun off for what it can actually do just by itself. Now, the Body Snatcher perk, it's, as much as I like the idea and the concept behind it, unfortunately it just messes with me too much, and it just, yeah, it's not quick enough. I would like it to be a little bit quicker, but that's what I did. That was my choice, and unfortunately it just didn't really go. The other reason I kind of chose that is because this gun is the suppressing variant of a light machine gun. Then what it does is, the more you hold down the trigger, and just so no burst firing or letting go or anything like that, just hold it down, the faster it fires. So I do think that the 663 RPM is a bit on the low side, but that's just purely for probably for the start of it, and then it will ramp up to a much higher degree, and then obviously spits out a bit more lead and a bit more damage. So this tier 3 mod isn't exactly special. It doesn't do anything funny, it doesn't do any more damage, it just kind of gives you a debuff, puts a debuff on something, and then you just kind of go to town. Now, why would you use this gun? Well, some of the perks are pretty good, to be fair. The fact that it's got such a huge clip size of 150 is brilliant. It's sustained fire, just you'd be able to wipe out pretty much an army. If you're going for a rounds kind of base build, that clip size is so big that there's zero chance of you being able to run out, even if you just use one mag. Just to be able to keep restocking it. The other thing is the damage is a little on the low side, which is a bit annoying, and the crit multiplier is definitely on the low side, so things like Embalmer's Rage I would not recommend. You just want something that will be able to up that damage. Now, obviously you can go for things like the Shadow Comet and all those kind of good things, and you might, yeah, okay, I suppose there's a case that can be made there for the fact that you can just have so much damage kind of multiplier going out there, but Killing Spree is probably going to be your best bet again, just to be able to, just for the gun. I suppose you could go for things like the Thunderbirds kind of tier 3 mod, just to be able to summon lightning so much on a single target, and that would, the 1 second cooldown would match perfectly with the Ultimate Weakening Bullets, so essentially you're weakening them so they can't do as much damage back to you, and then you're hitting them with some lightning. There's a few things. To be fair, this gun, because the tier 3 mod doesn't do anything special, it doesn't do anything strange, it doesn't kind of make me want to keep my interest or anything like that, and the gun, because it's being a light machine gun, and it benefits from close range damage and armor piercing and healing received, which I thought was a bit strange. It's not designed for medium to long range, it's kind of designed for you to be able to get up in the face of people in that kind of sense. So Technomancers won't really necessarily benefit from this. You're more likely going to see this on like a tanky Devastator or something like that. So what are the practical kind of scenarios for this gun? Well, there's not many really. It's the mod's bland, it's meh, and the gun, other than its looks, is just okay, and you'd probably find a better purple that's kind of suited for your kind of needs, so unfortunately it just kind of falls a bit on the flat side. So this gun will always have like a special place in my heart, because this was the first legendary I actually got to drop in Outriders, especially on my Technomancer. And I did enjoy it at the time when I was going through the story. It was such a fun gun, and it did actually keep me alive, and it was great for team play, because obviously I could just spread it around, and I could just shoot it at all these different targets, and it was brilliant. And then obviously I've now got to experience there's so many more legendaries that are so much better than this. So I'm glad it's kind of happened in that kind of way. I feel like if it had happened the other way around and I found like a better one, like the Funeral's Pyre, or any of the other ones that we've already kind of done in this series, then I may not have ever even thought about using this gun. So it's a nice gun, but it's just not really there, and I feel like it could do with it with a buff in the future. But that brings us to the end, because there's literally nothing else that I can talk about in terms of the mod. So in that case, I hope you've learned something useful. I hope you've enjoyed. In which case, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe on the channel. It will greatly appreciate it, and you'll be able to be notified of when the next video comes out, which will be tomorrow. So keep yourself well, keep yourself safe, and I'll see you on the next one.